Hey everybody, DayTraderRockStar here, and just doing an update during the day. I want to talk about a couple things. Right now we have markets here going into about 3 o'clock. It's Friday, and we're pushing at the high, 2100, coming right back. Remember, we started off negative on the day after the jobs report. The jobs report at 8:30 really started us off in a bad way. 8:15 actually, and 8:30 we continued down, and we actually bottomed out about 10:30. We actually didn't see any. We had a nice divergence there at 10:30 also. Of course, on Fridays I'm doing the watch list and I'm doing some videos and stuff, and I'm getting everyone set up for next week. And I just put out a great watch list video. But as we go back here and see a very easy visual divergence marking the lows of the session, very easy. Look there at that. This is textbook type of stuff that we do, and I wasn't even paying attention to it this morning. We had a little issues with the live stream thing, but now as we go up here to the close, I decided I just got one video out. I want to tune in, see what's going on, and put out a couple other things here. We actually have a divergence building here. Now I could actually you could see it here with the 9-3 stochastics, a little bit better than with the other one. So let me close this up a little, see if we can bring that 9-3 up a little bit more. I want to bring that 9-3 up for you. So here's your 9-3 stochastic setup, and you can see we're actually making new highs on the price, yet we're making lower lows on the stochastics. This is a little interesting. I mean, it is a Friday. The market has been very strong, so I wouldn't, and I'm not really trading this too much today at all. I'm really in the process of doing the research, but we are seeing some really good setups. But this is interesting to see this right now. I want to actually bring up the DOM and see if a setup actually does trigger here. Now, what would it cause a trigger here? We have a Rambot signal at 249. Which did push a little bit higher through that. It does seem like a little buy program came in. There is some good volume coming in here. And considering we're actually rotating back up, we have the previous close right above us. It looks like the market here is on the way to get back up there. And it looks pretty strong. So, there's one game you play, and that's the game with the winning side. Right now, the Bulls are in control right now. I wouldn't attempt to call a top right here. Nothing happened on the Apple here, starting to push back up. We're in some new stocks today. Boeing here, our HPS setups are running right now. And I got to get that other video out, and I'm waiting for that to compile, and then I'm going to send that out to the members. But the market here pushing a little bit higher now. Celgene here on the move. Capital One Finance, Micron, Bed Bath & Beyond, all moving. Visa here pushing back up, AKAM, AGN, Tesla, everything here moving. Nice pop, a lot of volume coming in. Nice action overall. This is a new segment of the HPS watch list. This is where I go back and I measure out and I show you all the divergences that have been alerted to us using the Rambot and the tradeometer, and the visual ones. And the visual ones are some things I really specialize in. I love the visual divergences. That's what I teach. I think everyone should, just like anything else, you should learn how to do the proper research and wait for a really good one. We have the bot that actually gives us the divergence, even if we can't really see it. It does do a mathematical divergence between price and stochastics and momentum, so we get that set up too. But today, Friday, the jobs day, you would expect to be kind of a wicked, crazy day, and you know what? It was. We dropped off pretty hard, and we rallied back, and now we're actually, we're coming back pretty good. The S&P is only down 4. We were down like 11, 12 earlier. And there's no doubt an interesting day. But you can see these blue squares and blue circles on the screen. And this really represents our divergence setups. The divergence setups are, circled each day when I'm on the air. I usually put them in. If they're in yellow, they are a Rambot signal. I didn't put any of the Rambot signals on here right now. I just wanted to go over and just show you the results of the visual divergences because they are fantastic. And this is a live market right now. Our visual divergences happen when on the buy side and or the sell side, either side. But basically, the price makes a new high with the stochastics, makes that high, and then stochastics pull back. The price could either pull back or consolidate. But what happens is with the stochastic pulling back, the price moves higher, and then we top out, and then the stochastics roll over with the next top, and in this case, what I want to do is set our criteria very strict that our original high brings our stochastics up to above that 80 mark. On the pullback.
Sorry about that, everyone.
Paul just apparently wasn't even on the mic here. I didn't know I had it on, but that's good that he wasn't talking. And then on the pull down the push higher, the new high, the stochastics failed to get back above that 80, and that's the divergence. That's a visual divergence, and that we put a blue square on. And these setups are based off the 1 minute time frame, so they represent scalp opportunities. These, we apply anything that we learned here on the 1 minute to the 5 minute to the 60 minute to the daily, any time frames, any trading vehicle, be it futures, options, forex. It works on everything. This is it, and this is today's action. So we had the divergence here, the pullback. So when we have a divergence, you have your DOM or whatever, however you're trading it. In this case, we like to trade it. We like to trade it here at Day Trading Radio with the ES mini contract. Right now we're looking at the June contract, or we'd like to trade SPY options off of it. I don't tend to go to the leveraged ETFs, but you could do that also. You could take the SSO, the SPXU, any of these leveraged ETFs that track the S&P, which, of course, will give you the same results and the same movement. So these are great signals to trade any way you want to trade them. You can trade them with just the SPY, the ETFs to SPY, or you could get SPY options, which I like. Or you could trade the ES contract, which I love. And in each situation, you have to remember there's a criteria of entry and a criteria of exit. And the entry and exit levels here are just, again, just a kind of a basic thing right now. When we have a buy or a sell entry, we have to always understand what the bigger trend is. So if we're looking at a 1 minute time frame, we look at that 5 minute underlying time frame, and then maybe even the 60 minute underlying time frame. That helps us determine our potential profit. How long do we want to be in it? If it's a very trendy market and we've been moving higher, and it gives us a short, we don't want to be in that short as long as we want to be in a long, which is going to give us a bigger move because the overall trend is up. So a short or a short entry has to be very quick, and we use that. We use a couple tools for that. We use that stochastic rotation on the 9-3. Once it gets back into oversold levels, there's a better chance of a bounce there. Also, we just use what we call just a standard DOM entry. When we place our trade, and I'll give you an example. If you place your trade into this divergence here, this last divergence, which we're not here, but if say you traded it, you start to see that divergence playing out, and you got in. And say you got in, I always give yourself the benefit of the doubt of getting the worst fill. So you got in at 2100. All right, short in 2100, even though that signal came in a little bit higher. You got in at 2100. Even in even 2099.50, and what I do is I think this works great with two contracts, but you can do it with one. 3 ticks, I should say, 3/4 of a point, 3 ticks to a point on your first contract, and then you move your stop to break even, and you follow that other one up, either looking at 2 points, or you could just use any type of strategy to kind of scale out or follow it up with a trailing stop. It's a little bit more advanced, but the initial entry is, and the initial point of this is the 1 minute time frame is going to give you the smallest moves versus the 5 minute. And when you establish your entry, be it short or long, you automatically put that stop in right at the high. So in this case, if you got a 2100, you would still put your stop up here right above that recent high, quarter tick above that recent high. So whenever you see a circle or a divergence circle, and I'm going to tighten these things up to give you that divergence, you put that stop in right at the lower candle. And if you have a reversal candle, you want to use that reversal candle. And I do a lot of more. There's a lot more education on this on the site. So here we had a sell side divergence, as you can see, pulled back down to 98. If you had that order in your DOM, you would have gotten triggered. Here, right before that, you had a buy-side divergence off a nice little flag, and this was a textbook one right here. And this came back, actually didn't, I think this was just a equal low here, 93.50. 93.50. So it would have tagged your stop, which was a quarter point underneath that divergence low. And of course, that made a nice move up here. It doesn't matter where you're in on that 94. You could have got 5 points on that. Not to say you're going to get that, but these are the big opportunities. These are the opportunities you want to trade. You know, if anything in the market, if you're planning to place a trade in the market, you want to have a circle square there. That's the fact. Here we had another divergence setup. Great one. You can see the lower low here. The market here pushed a little bit lower, but the stochastics here held above that 20, turned back up. You identify that recent low of that. You put that stop underneath it, and you let it ride. Now, you can see in all these cases, we never came back and took out that stop. You know. Let me see if we actually... It would have to be under that. That's a double bottom. It never took out the underneath that. But that you would have been out already on that. I mean, that divergence came in around 92 and went up to 94 and change. I mean, those are what you know, that is a beautiful trade. If you get a point to 2 points on a 1 minute divergence, you know, you're doing the right thing. You want to have that type of discipline to get out. If you're looking for this to go all the way up here and then get out all the way, that's kind of being a little... you could do it, you know. Again, remember your 5 minute time frame is working in your favor, and if it is working in your favor, then you have a better shot of just letting this thing ride. So it depends on how far you want to do it. We're you know, teaching the basics here. It's like, first of all, you need to get a single, then learn how to stroke that ball into, you know, opposite field, go for a double, triples, and home runs. They'll come. They will all come. But this right here is all about the singles, because those singles add up to runs. And they're high probability setups. So important to be on top of it. Here's a sell side, and even to the littlest point, if you're just watching the market and say, all right, I just want to take these divergences. If I see it, I'm going to take it. There's a divergence right there, a high, and then boop, the market here moved under 20, and then we pushed back up new high, and then we failed to make new highs. You should recognize that. Put your order in above that and let it ride. Same thing here. Boom. You know. Even though this one kind of chopped around and moved sideways, never got back above that high. Whenever you see a big candle around that, that's another good example. We continue to go out. And just a little pullback. Again, this is all in a bigger move. This is between 2084 and 2094, 10-point move. But between that, you had the bottom of this move, which was great. That was at 1020. Fantastic divergence there. Easy one to read. What was special about this one, it happened at 10:15, 10:20. It was also a Rambot signal. Now, if you look at your Rambot, the Rambot is a bot that identifies these setups, and the setups are on our dashboard, the members dashboard, and it's right down on the bottom here. Now, I could push the positive, I mean the 1 minute and the 5 minute. Soon we'll have the 60 there also. So I like just sometimes just to kind of scale, just to kind of keep the 5 minute settings up there. So just make they're both red. They're both red, and they'll only give you the 5 minute setups. And over here we have our other other trade boxes and stuff. But I don't know if you read that, but that last buy signal, it was at 10:15, which actually came in here a little bit before this thing. But a 5 minute setup, and you see it on the screen as a divergence. A 1 minute, 5 minute combination like this is usually one of the best setups of the day. And as you can see, that worked out great. Moved up. And then even a little pullback, we had a divergence here, and that pulled up. And a sell side, and a little pullback here, and then a buy side. So we're able to chop this market up into different areas to trade. The scalp zones. And the same thing on the 5 minute time frame. So we could go to our 5 minute time frame, see that we had in this case, you're not going to see all the setups here. You're not going to see a 5 minute, but do you see the direction of this 5 minute stochastic here? How we're pushing up. We're pushing up, put a higher low in. That's very bullish for any type of setup. Also, that 5 minute candle here that showed up at 10:15, 10:20. The 10:20 candle was just a rock star candle. So the combination of that 1 minute, 5 minute, big 5 minute candle, you should be giddy over this. You know, this is what you wait for all day. Yeah, you know, and then everything else just takes you know, comes into play. We just have to wait for it. And that's the true beauty of HPS and what we do here at Day Trading Radio. You know, just waiting for these things to happen. And this is just on Friday. Now, like I said, I go back. This is what you would see a typical day. You know, you would see this as a typical day at Day Trading Radio. You'll get those sell signals. You get the buy signals. I'll mark them off. I prefer you to, you know, to follow them on your dashboard because I don't mark them all until after the fact usually. But you could see. Look at these. These were 5 minute. These were the 5 minute setups on Wednesday. This is a 5 minute setup. There was a 5 minute buy signal. Here was a. This one actually was this. I think this was a bad setup there that didn't register. It registered on a thing. We had to go back and fix that. But everything else here, this was a Rambot buy signal. But anything in dark yellow here represents the 5 minute time frames. And the 5 minute time frames, as you can see, are just they're right on schedule basically. Now lots of times that 5 minute will trigger on the way down. We need that 5 minute to trigger a little bit later than the 1 minute time frame is real fast. And as you can see here, a 1 minute divergence here. We had a 5 minute downside divergence here. So you had a nice move down to a 1 minute and then the 1 minute up. The bigger wedge pattern, a sell signal into a wedge pattern, nice push back down. Here we actually, this is probably right at the end of the last half hour of the day. We consider anything from 3:30 on to be kind of a no trade zone. And that's it. But you know, I can't stress how passionate, you know, you could be about trading if you start to see some of these signals and how they work and how you could approach the market like this. Let's take a look at what's going on right now because I hear the market moving. Let me see if we have any alerts coming through. Nothing. Our last alert was this sell alert here. All right, so we'll wrap up this video. But for any more information you want on the tradeometer, you can go to tradeometer.com. That's tradeometer, TRADOMETER. You know how it spells right there, tradeometer. Lots of information on it, how to use it. I have actually some good information on that site. And there's actually another site that I'll post in some of these notes. In the video notes of another good educational site that gives you more information on the tradeometer, and of course the Rambot, which is that's the special thing. Only available to Day Trader members, but definitely take a shot and try out the 2-week free trial at Day Trading Radio and get to use all these tools, see how they help you. All right. I'll catch everyone in the markets. Don't forget, markets open up on Sunday evening, 6:30. We'll see you then. And Johnny out.